and people do think pretty highly of it, but it hasn't done too well in competitive just yet in top 4 regions.
Not a great win rate.
Has a 33% win rate, so it hasn't been super successful, but is one of these picks because there's the Ambessa, the Nocturne, all of this, they're playing it pretty defensively. As Hanbok trying to get in, DSG do have first move on this Dragon. I don't think there's going to be a contest.
Yeah.
So, you know, Darkwings is going to be playing this much slower build. The Roa, a lot less burst, a lot longer to come online, but does give you that additional health and survivability. Bullying, impact. But then you look at the CS and you're like, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's kind of just how Sion plays. Sentinels, though, first here on the Grubs.
This could be a fight. Castle wants to go
moving
in.
over. DSG gonna go for it. In comes the ulti, in onto the Nico, but the pop blossom pretty good. The fear does land. Nico's gonna get knocked down, but is that going to be enough? Flash away there from Lions on the side as Hanbok's trying to get something done. Big shockwave across 3, but not a lot of damage behind it. Sentinels just have no consistent DPS.
No one ends up falling below a quarter health, and they completely wipe Sentinels off the floor in that. When he's trying to move into a Karma Ezreal. Like, that gank has such a low chance of success. As Calmy just gets some nice poke onto the Orianna.
Send the ultis in. He flashes out, but doesn't get the distance. And now Hanbok's in trouble as well here. Good spell shield there from Kryra. As Calmy threatening, Hanbok is going to go back in. There's the R2 forward. Hanbok now pops the ulti. Who he's coming over, but Castle has arrived first. The pop blossom comes down, but it is too late. Rahel going to join the fight, but Who he's gone. Impact's in. Can Impact get a kill back? Looks like he might be able to finish off Calmy, but Calmy flashes away. Impact flashes to follow. Rahel getting some damage down. Castle could be in trouble. Kryra waiting around the edge. Nice follow-up there with the root. They get the shutdown. Now trying to flash out to safety, but he can't quite do it. Rahel in a lot of trouble. Kryra knocks him down. Lions has arrived, and Impact doesn't have the damage to finish them off. At the end of the day, DSG went out on the fight again.
And that was with...
To have the damage, and that fear not breaking the tether hurts. Golden Glue definitely seeing the writing on the wall for this game as it's getting more...
you just can't pass into the river, I feel like, because Kryra will kill you. So should be a pretty easy Drake. He's going for a steal, though. Desperation.
Yeah, can't quite get it away. You can see that Rahel was heading up towards top lane to maybe
clear the
try
wave pretty easily at half health. This also means that Calmy is going to be able to get solo turret gold himself. So both solo lanes and the jungle now with over 1,000 gold advantages. Sentinels trying to, they still haven't even expended that Rift Herald. They're probably waiting to see if the third Drake is going to be contested whatsoever.
Well, they forced skirmishes that they then moved quickly to and were able to create a very big lead as an advantage. It is now all of the outers gone. It's a 5K gold lead at 20 minutes here. And Sentinels are trying to slow down the bleeding, but Soul is up in a couple minutes here, and Sentinels are just going to have to settle for a scuttle on the top side.
This is technically game 3 against Lion was more lopsided of a win for DSG, but that's because Lion was trying desperation plays to get back in it. But this is kind of what League of Legends, as they might get Castle.
A nice little CC chain there as they use the point blank ulti and the deadly flourish to lock up Castle. Castle flashing back. Can he get out? The Q's come back up, but he's flash rooted by Who. Is he going to turn around and get a kill? And of course he is in the 1v3, takes one with him. And now in comes the Jet as well as Kryra. The TP going to arrive here from Calmy. Just coming out of base. Doesn't have the full money for the GA, but did get his BF. Castle, though, has 3 completed items here. He's monstrously strong, and he is on the side. Has been spotted. In goes Kryra, and they're just looking for the Jhin. The ulti, though, misses. The Pop Blossom counter engage, not too bad. Rahel trying to survive, but he's not going to be able to do it. Darkwings has to flash out. He has no health. Castle falls. Calmy is low, but it's Impact. Hanbok trying to make a stand here, trying to get something done. They just don't have the damage. Hanbok flashes in, does got one. Darkwing still there behind Impact. At the end of the day, though, it is +1.
Really benefits Hanbok's Aatrox. He's not that fed, but he ends up almost at full health from all of the Aatrox healing he gets in this very close fight. Ends up finishing Calmy at the very end of this. Nicely done before falling. Chemsoul does go over, though. Ends up being a little bit too little too late. But you could see Golden Glue thought, hey, maybe this is the time we clutch the game. They got a couple bounties out of it, not to mention this turret. So
fought valiantly there, but the gold lead remains 5K, and now Jhin gonna get spotted out, has the flash, has to use it. As soon as that came back up, it is just gone again, and that is Kryra, level 16, has the GA completed, and a much shorter ultimate cooldown now with the rank 3.
Yeah, really.
No one was answering, so does get some more plates off that before Impact can get down and collect that wave.
I'm really curious how DSG will play out the rest of this game. Currently, they're sitting in a 1-3-1. Another
right
art
here.
used.
Humbug could be in some trouble. The fear tether is there. Castle ults over the wall. Shockwave does not get much done. Lions comes in, and they're going to lock down Humbug, who has no flash. Humbug fighting valiantly will fall to Castle. It's another kill from...
Akali's going to be able to teleport in. They might look for a flank engage from the Akali, but they have no ultimates other than Ezreal, so I think it's a little dangerous.
Yeah, who
might play to finish.
Trying to look for an ulti. They're getting it low. Will they be able to finish it off? Pop Blossom across multiple members. Sajed goes out. They secure the Baron. Impact and Huhi in the middle of the pit. They're going to start falling here. Darkwings and Rahel trying to get some damage down, but they're being threatened on the side. And now Impact is just getting focused down by everyone. Flashes over the wall, tries to get out. Kryber going to ult into the backline. He's in onto Rahel. Rahel is feared up. Kryber can't quite finish him off. Now going to get shockwaved away. Rahel's still alive. Finally falls. Kryber doesn't even lose his GA as he heals back up with the passive auto. DSG crushing through this game, looking to be completely in form here for the lock-in playoffs.
Looking really good. I'd say Chemsoul did a lot of Triumph procs coming in at just the right time, likely making this game out of reach.
Yep, and you can see the look on Impact's face. He knows it. This one is definitely cooked. It is a 10,000 gold lead here. We may see Sentinels just try to come out and contest.
Generally speaking, a pretty risky strategy, but with Nocturne, able to pick their side.
Yep, going to be going in onto Darkwings, and he is just dead in a hurry. That is the difficulty of playing against that Nocturne in that mid lane. Joins the side lane very easily. Down on the bot side, you can see no one there to answer that wave. As Sentinels were trying to clear out mid, we're trying to respond to the dive top. DSG, though, make the dive cleanly happen. Kryra stays top now. They're going to lose all 3 towers in a hurry.
I mean, this is the best game I've seen DSG play. They're doing so much right, as we might just see him die.
Yeah, Castle does fall, but they triple inhib them at the same time, very likely. A little bit of health on that mid lane one. The Jhin ulti going to be opening up. Sentinels tried to force the fight here, as they are going to get a nice root. Good catch onto Sajed. He gets burst down. Lions falls as well. There's actually a timing
really
window.
Buying into that with the way they were moving around the map and his ult usage and just his timing all around the map. And then the team does that, and it's kind of like, okay, they're still working on things. They're still not as clean as they could be.
It's not Inspired. He's Inspired Junior. So give him a couple of years.
It's not his fault. He just wasn't controlling the team well enough. But as you mentioned, this could be Sentinels trying to pull the game back. They're just going to flip this Elder if they know it's good for him.
It's just, I don't know if they can kill it fast enough. Sajed has respawned. He's running out on the map. Going to try to just burst this down. We'll see if they can make it happen. In comes the engage. Kryber going into the backline onto Rahel. Kryber getting incredibly low, though. The Dragon getting pretty low here as well, as Darkwings is going to get knocked down by Call Me. Call Me as well as Castle just piling into the backline. Huhi is down. Darkwings is down. Sentinels are looking like they are toast. As insult to injury, Kryra even grabs the Elder. They're going to finish him off. They're going to clean up the game. DSG looking like they are marching on the Nexus and going to be able to take a lead here in this best-of-5 series. They will strike first, and they will strike really dominantly here as they knock him down 32 minutes in. Soul, Elder, Baron, 20-8 in the kill score. They did it all, and they made it look good.
They were really just fantasy point maxing. I think at the end of the day, that's a perfect...
I think they're going to stomp them. I think it's going to be really hard in the 2v2 against Ashe Seraphine. It is a really tough lane to fight into, but if Kryra is there and you get flash knocked up, Castle trying to buy time for the abilities to come back, but can he slice and dice out to safety? They are waiting a long time on this. Impact is scared. He doesn't want to get involved because he knows he could get taken out. Rune Prison will grab first blood for Darkwings. Nicely done. Castle overplayed his hand. He thought he was going to get 6 first, but missed, and that is how the lane looks when you have no hook, is they just walk at you. You are outranged on the Kai'Sa. Huhi, though, has no flash. Going to get flashed on here, and the follow-up knock-up is there. Sajed coming in. They knock him down. Good gank from Kryra. Bahambach is level 6 first. Oh. Flashes forward. Ults in. Sajed is locked into this Cataclysm, but Rahel cannot really join. Rahel is just hitting Kryra, and now Bahambach on the side is losing the fight. Sajed flashes away.
That's
barely
crazy.
Survives.
Going to be traded for Grubs here, which if you're DSG, you're very happy about. Against the Ashe Seraphine, being able to get the first Drake on your side is huge.
It really is. You know, we saw Golden Glue in that interview talking about how they picked for winning lanes, but things weren't really going that great in the early laning. You know, Castle was kind of outlaning Impact in the first couple levels. He had pressure on him. You know, Huhi got hooked twice, so they kind of lost some pressure there. Darkwing's going to be able to stop the recall from Calmy. Can he even survive? Flash forward there from Hombach with the flash Q. Darkwing's going to try to finish him off. Drops the turret aggro, barely survives. Wasn't the cleanest, but they do get no one. You're doing nothing on Blitzcrank. So a lot of pressure on Lions. We'll see if he can make something happen. He's going to get connected onto by that Ash arrow. Has his flash available. Didn't flash anything. Just CC'd down. 100 to 0. In comes Kryra and Calmy. They arrive. Flashing forward there on a Hombach. They're going to try to knock him down. Sajed gets the kill there as Darkwings arrives. Sajed incredibly low. Rahel pushing forward. He's going to fall. Calmy in trouble. Kryra in trouble. He's going to go back in with the Sun. Try to take one with him. But he's rooted up. He's stunned up. Rahel gets a double. And the fight from DSG goes terribly as Rahel gets paid and gets the double buff.
That's the fight that could swing the game for Sentinels. Double buffs all across the board. The Rise ult comes in at just the right time. I mean, Calmy's going to try and move in right here, but this seems rather ambitious by Calmy and Lions.
Yeah, I mean, with what damage are you going to do something here? He's hoping for some sort of a misplay, a miracle steal, but they're going to be able to grab it. No problem at all. Lions did have the hook, but 900 gold, even though he's down farm and has the same amount of kills as Rahel, so has been able to cash in on some of those plates. Impact could be in some trouble. There's the stun into the hook. Do they have the damage here from Kryra? Will he Mega out? He flashes in, has the shield to try to protect him, and now Impact's going to be able to go Mega. Castle gets knocked up. He's going to be thrown to the wall. Surely, in comes the ulti there from Huhi. They don't have the damage to finish anyone off just yet. Rahel now arriving. Hombach messes up. Oh, no, okay, I guess that was the Spectator. Kind of went weird on the flag and drag, but does end up knocking him down. Rahel pushing forward. Can they try to turn anything around? Kryra has to flash out. Sajed is in trouble. This is a disaster. Lions is incredibly low. They're corralled under the turret. Calmy comes in. Can they defend the dive? Lions is so low, Herald. And they have the Herald. This is going to go down in a hurry. Hombach going to get interrupted, though, by the Anivia wall. Nicely played by Calmy. They still don't have a wave here, as the Anivia may have just bailed them out of this situation. Well done, but on the other side of the map,
still, 2,500 gold, 20 minutes in.
Yep, looking good. Darkwing's scaling well this game. Going to pop the Ghost early here. Kryra may be able to catch up to him. Does have that smite, but on the other side, it's going to be Lions again getting caught out. They are behind, and when you're behind on Blitz, you are looking useless, and Lions definitely is looking that this game thus far as Huhi, Hombach, and Rahel take him out. A lot of crystals built up there. Calmy trying to get some damage down. In comes the Encore, going to get flashed by Calmy. Nicely done by him. Kryra arrives. In comes everyone from DSG. Impact on the side, though, is crushing them. Puts the Anivia into the egg, and there's a shutdown onto Rahel. Sajed is just free-firing now. Sajed is starting to pick up a lot of kills, but can Impact and Darkwings make it happen? It's the solo laners here on the side trying to get it done. Impact goes into mini. They're going to try to back it up. Can Castle get in over onto Darkwings? Slice, dice. The slow does not connect as the phase rush was still proc, but the stun does come through, and now Sajed is going forward. They're trying to knock him down. Do they have the damage? Just barely get the shutdown. Castle gets paid. That was a great fight for DSG.
They're absolute psychopaths. I mean, Calmy seemed like he started that in a 1v4, but this is the sneaky power of both Sajed and Rahel on the same page. Now they're going for Drake.
Yeah, we're back to live over here by the Dragon. Can DSG knock this down? Hombach is in the area. It is getting focused down quick. Ash arrow will not connect onto Calmy. Is he able to sidestep it? Impact has Megan already. He's going to go in. It's going to be secured, though, by Kryra on the side. We can see Impact has CC'd up Lions, who goes down in a hurry. The Sun comes across multiple members as they are locked in the Cataclysm. Kryra can't get anything done, but Sajed is going to ult into the side, knocks down Hombach. Calmy trying to duel against Darkwings here, who's going to be able to win out on that one. A bit of a scrappy fight, but at the end of the day, DSG do get the Dragon, and it is just the 1-for-1. They kill up Hombach.
Scrappy fight in a very scrappy game. The smite steal going in the favor of Kryra is what makes this a winning play, but then when Castle picks up this turret, that's a bounty that he picked up on Rise at the end of the...
And, you know, flying in a lot of these fights, utilizing his passive well, forcing people to go in on him, and creating space for the rest of his team.
I mean, his weird river flank in that mid lane fight is what actually turned it, and that's crazy as well.
He goes in very nicely timed, ult from Rahel. He just stuns him instantly when he arrives. No one from DSG was really in the area to follow up. I'm not sure what Kryra saw there. Maybe didn't realize so many members were around, but he dies for free. And now they're just going to start the Baron.
Okay, so it's just Anivia Blitz Kaisa. This might be one where they try and trade gold rather than fight, since Sajed might want to protect his gold lead. Let's see the teleport in. Nars no TP, so it is a temporary 4v4. No jungler, though.
They got to force. Castle pops the ulti. They're going for it. They're looking for Rahel. Rahel is going to get actually cleansed out, but he just dies anyway. Darkwings on the side is getting zoned off. Hombach is in some trouble. Sajed ults forward. Darkwings is going to fall. Impact has now arrived. He almost has Mega. Can he make something happen? Does land the stun. The wall up comes through. Jumps in. Stuns up Sajed. Knocks down Sajed. Huhi on the side trying to run from Calmy. Going to have to flash over the wall. Hombach and Impact battling against Castle, but Castle
Darkwings, and it's just become a scrappy game. Slowly move up here as Hombach is now at a quarter health.
Oh, there's the Ash Arrow in on the Castle. They're locking him up in the CC chain. It's just not ending. Castle, even through the Sterix, even through the ulti, just goes down. That CC was never ending. Really beautiful chain between the Ashe, the Gnar, the Seraphine, and now they are over onto this Baron. This Seraphine already on 2 completed items, plus the upgraded boots, plus the tier. DSG realized we can't contest this. Hui's going to keep them too healthy. They're going to have to trade for the Dragon.
Yep, 4v5. They have to trade for the Drake as well. That's kind of the worst case scenario, though, when you're slow checking if your Renekton ends up getting one shot. Not enough tenacity to break the CC chain. But Sentinels really have to do something with this Baron power play now, because they're giving up Soul Point. Mountain Soul Point, which I think if they complete the Soul, they will end up winning the game. That's 1 tier 2 turret, makes the Baron power play plus 1,600. Honestly, paying 1,500 might want to go for some Mercury Treads. I know the steel caps are very good against Ashe, but if he's going to be getting CC chained like that, he needs a little bit more freedom. Trying to get some mid plates here as Sajed is clearing the turret. Everyone's doing a really good job hiding behind minions as well, making sure Lions stays useless.
And a level 11 on the Blitzcrank. Very far down in the experience now at this point. Hui's closing in on 14 about by the time that Lions does hit 12. So the scaling really powerful now. Of course, you are hoping you can kind of just delay this Baron buff as much as possible, and that Sajed can just crush it in the team fights. He's on 4 items, has the Zhonya's, and has shown his prowess on this Kaisa a number of times.
Yeah, just some insane team fight outplay potential. But if the more fed the Seraphine gets, the beefier the team fight ball can become for Sentinels. And these team fights have become really, really spread out, which I feel like if they stay a little bit closer together, can be better for Sentinels. Hard to push against Anivia, though.
By both, honestly. Wow. Great side steps across the board as Hui now throwing in the Encore. In comes Kryra. He's going to be looking, flashes forward, tries to knock him down, but Kryra's incredibly low, and Kryra's going to fall. Sentinels get another kill there as Hombach goes forward. Castle will survive. The hook gets a minion. That's about the best he's done in a while, as Castle trying to threaten, but he just can't. Sajed is outraged. In comes the Mega Gnar. He's going to get stunned up against the wall. Wall up does connect, and now Calmy in a lot of trouble. Going to get Mega Gnar against the wall. He goes into the passive egg. Sajed is focusing down Impact. Can he get the kill? He can, but his mid laner is traded back on the side. Darkwings chasing after Castle. Castle tries to slice over the wall, but fails it. Went too early. Can't get through. Gets knocked down. Now Darkwings with the rise. I'll try to get in onto Sajed. Flash for flash. There's the hook, but can he even win the fight? The tower shot, not enough to knock him down, because in comes the Seraphine to keep him safe.
What a fight there by Sentinels. Narrowly, if they get one more kill, they might be able to end the game off that. So in terms of what they can do with the Baron.
And the CC timing from Sentinels has been so good. He's getting insta-CC'd as he arrives on the Pantheon ult every time.
Might see a fight here, but probably just giving up the turret, hoping for a Mountain Soul fight. Also completed. Echoes, I also think, is just a broken item when you're able to get rolling in these team fights. So they just have to give this Drake, no matter what.
It's going to be the Dragon going over. DSG, of course, it was sitting at Soul Point from that earlier trade of Dragon for Baron, but their attempt to try to get a carry.
To fight.
Yeah, DSG are posturing. Kryra moving forward here. Sajed on the side with him, but they are split up, and Calmy's going to be flashed on there by Hombach, and in comes the Encore. The CC is punishing, and in the backline, Impact is stunning up the entire team. They are locked down. They are knocked down. It's a triple already for Darkwings, as he is just destroying them in this fight. Impact picks up another. It was nearly a quadra. Calmy TP's out to safety, but there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide from this Sentinels team.
Darkwings just overpowers DSG in this last fight. Huhi also empowering everyone with the massive support gap in this game too. It's looking like Sentinels is equalizing the series.
Yeah, they are marching on the Nexus. Calmy gonna get rooted up, gonna get locked down. The CC chains just never end. Huhi with a fantastic Seraphine game, showing off the power of the pick, and Sentinels coordinating so well on their timing. with the CC across multiple fights. They tie up this stage.
Yes.
You actually just poke them down with the E. There are sometimes people who go like pseudo AP, or sometimes they just go AD, like they're just going Triforce, but they're going like 3 or 4 points E with Comet.
Crab gets a gank in the meantime. Really helps Calmy a lot in that lane, and then still manages to get his own grab.
Huhi is baiting them. Humbug was behind him, and Huhi was walking forward, pretending he did not know that he could get engaged on. Lions hooks in, so he does lose his flash for the exchange. It does mean Humbug has a pretty delayed base, though, and now Hui's going to flash in. Lions has no flash, so Jed trying to keep him alive, but he's not going to be able to do it. You have to think Humbug gets the kill. Kryber has arrived. Can they chase them down and get something back? It doesn't look like they can. Kind of just doing nothing but harassing. So Sejed doing a very good job with that. And they're off to a great start.
Also ult out just to push him out of blue. Surprising teleport, actually, but it is just Huhi with Spellbook.
Yeah,
would just love a little bit of time to channel on this blue, but we might see a brawl first.
Lions has level 6, so does Huhi. Will they actually send it? Daisy getting focused down. It's going to go back in as Sejed going to get jumped on by Humbug, but Humbug does not connect. Now the ulti flashes forward. They're committing everything, but on these tankier members, can Kryber survive? No, he cannot. He goes down. Call Me trying to get over here and help them out, but he's zoned off there by Darkwings. Lion hooks the wall.
I think it's just the fact that Wukong is on Triforce, and that's a big way to lose the game as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, Castle also really getting Impact quite low. Impact's going to be able to TP back towards that top side because now they have already secured that dragon. But it is always scary, you know, if they decided to TP down the cannon and you don't get an incredible fight, Nasus pops ult and kills you. And Sentinels slowly building up this gold lead. And yeah, it's great. You can scale, you can stack, but if you fall too far behind, it's not really going to matter. And it is closing in on that 2,000 gold lead. Is Calmy getting a pretty nice trade here. The barrier is going to get popped. He actually committed to it, and the Redemption almost finished him off. And now the Senna ult just knocks him down. Rahel did not react, did not flash out. And what I thought was going to be a quick little trade ends up being a kill. And now Castle going to pop the ulti here. Will he goes for it? Not just yet. Humbug coming in now, going to pop the ghost here, but he is in the 1v2. Can he make it happen? I don't know that he's going to have the damage, but he is getting Impact quite low, slowing him down. One more Q might do it, but he doesn't get there to finish the job. Impact barely survives as Humbug bails him.
Trade. And here's these pseudo globals, right? The Redemption at first. I think he thought he was far enough.
Oh, he tried to RE. He died on the R cast. He tried to RE. That's what happened. So
yeah, his R's on cooldown now.
Yeah, so he tried to actually RE there, so that's why he didn't flash. He thought he had the time to do it, but now they're actually catching Humbug. If he goes down, that would be punishing, as he has a big bounty. Huhi going to flash over the wall with Humbug, but can they continue the chase? I think they can. Now the TP coming in there from behind.
The long
as
fight.
Nasus is going to be behind them. They're going to try to use the Rift Herald maybe to get out of dodge, but there's the root over on a Humbug. Humbug getting focused down. Castle almost knocks down Huhi, but he's going to get CC'd up. Wukong gets into the Herald. Can all of them get out? It looks like they just might be able to do it. They're trying to finish off with a smite, but they couldn't. And Sentinels get away with no health. I can't believe DSG killed no one.
It ends up being a really good trade because they got plates on the mid lane as well. Sure, it costs the Herald, and they get some counter jungling.
Oh, good sidestep. Humbug,
he has Redemption.
very low.
He shortcasts the Redemption, and Humbug gets out.
Yeah. It's a tough skill shot to hit there. That Redemption didn't actually land it. He misplaced it pretty badly. He just needed to put it behind him and try to force him into him. Calmy in some trouble on the side. Will be forced to use his ult defensively as the double solo laners here from Sentinels going to be pushing up, but at the same time, Castle farming some plates on top side, so Calmy pushed back to base. You have to feel like they probably could have killed him, maybe with that Redemption, but not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. And got to be a frustrating moment there for DSG. It looked like they were going to get 1 or 2 kills for sure. Instead, they get none.
And they're also not set up at this Drake again, so it's probably Infernal Drake going over to Sentinels. There's no Redemption. They burned a lot of their summoners in that extended fight top lane. But Calmy, thinking about going for Darkwings, they'll be very late on this fight if they decide to engage on it.
Yeah, Calmy missing most of his abilities there, unfortunately. So is going to have to just kind of take the L on that trade. Once you get blended on him. But yeah, Castle not going Sundered Sky or anything crazy. He is going to be going in towards the Spirit Visage second, taking the more kind of moderate approach.
And also, he's up against 2 AP solo laners, so makes sense to just have a little bit of MR and really delay this game a bit through split pushing. It definitely feels like DSG has been making a few misplays, and Sentinels has been capitalizing, especially when Humbug has been in the right position.
And back, great sidestep there. on the hook from Lions as he was laying in wait, but
Sent
all
everyone.
of Sentinels are here. All 5 members. Calmy going to try to ult out. In comes the Redemption as well as that Senna shield trying to keep him up. Lions flashing back with the lockup, but he's getting knocked down. And there is another kill going their way. The TP arrives, but Castle is just getting focused down. He's in the middle of the entire team. He can't get anything done. Trying to take Hambach with him, but won't be able to do it. 3 for 0 for Sentinels there. How much more can they get off of this?
They're getting a lot.
He's not going to be able to actually get enough Qs out to really do anything, and now Sentinels feels like they are running away with it, posed to grab this next dragon.
Just and the fact first and always has a number advantage. They're going to win the game. So this is the most organized I've actually seen it. 3 seconds before Infernal, maybe getting a 5v5.
Oh, big hook onto Rahel. He pops the R, dashes back. Can they get in on him? They're happy to just let the ulti expire. So they force that out of Rahel, and they know he has no flash for a while. So I think DSG is going to try to contest potentially, but it looks like they might just be too slow. There's the route in onto Huhi. Hui's going to get one shot. The shutdown comes through, but will the fight be won? Impact is getting so much damage down. Castle trying to survive. Gets in on Rahel, but he can't finish him off. Calmy trying to make something happen, but he misses on the Q3. Hambach flashes out, and now it is just Kryra and Sajet, and that is Victor from Arcane. That Arcane Storm was massive as Sentinels survive and win the fight, even without the flash or the ulti on Rahel.
That might have been the last chance for DSG. They finally got their 5v5, but they were probably just a little bit too far behind, and the executes and the
But right now he's considering, can I find an angle for an ulti here? As Huhi thinking about going, has his flash available. Hambach may have been caught out on the side.
There's no flash.
He's going to be able to clone back. He gets rooted up. Can they actually finish him off? Castle is in there. He's going to try to turn it around, try to finish off Kryra. Kryra's incredibly low. Can he actually survive? In comes the Senna ulti. They do get the kill. Calmy, though, getting focused down on the side. Sajet is not even involved in the fight. Now he's going to arrive as Castle's going for it with the ulti. Does throw the Wither down onto Darkwings. Calmy tries to go back in. Sajet goes forward. There's the flash hook, and it's a massive shutdown. Castle gets it. Finally, DSG come up with a huge pick, and they're going to get Baron very likely off the back of this as well.
I think this is the solo queue slingshot. They're going to be even in gold after this Baron. It all starts with Hambach, no flash. So they see one window, they just all commit to him, burn everything to try and get this Wukong, because if they don't get burst, that's when the heals and shields can really start turning on. Getting that shutdown at the start of the fight means there's not enough damage
in control. That has given such an injection of gold for DSG. Out of nowhere, there's the IE done for Sajet. He's now ahead. There's a 3rd item completed for Castle, and even the GA is going to be coming soon for Calmy.
Frozen Heart on Castle, who now has a gold lead on Impact, and the 4-item Senna with soon-to-be 80 souls is turned on. This Infernal Soul fight in 50 more seconds is suddenly game deciding. It had seemed over. That pick on Hambach, who played so well this entire game, might end up costing them. And the series might even swing on this next team fight. 1-1, winner goes 2-1 up. It felt like all the momentum was in the side of Sentinels, but DSG might have just pulled it back.
Impact does get the tier 2 top, though, and he has the TP advantage, and Calmy doesn't see anyone coming. He's way over pushed. Calmy's just going to die for free, it feels like. Are they even going to try to get out? Uses the ulti, flashes back. Goes into Soul Unbound, but who cares? You wasted your flash. You were always going to die there. Buys a little bit of time for them to get some damage down on this tier 2, but Sentinels played that well. Impact didn't even use his TP. Took a tier 2 top. You're against the Baroned up team. Now you're down a member, and you're probably just lost Soul off that.
Down Yone, only down Wukong flash ult. Does GSG have enough strength to win a 4 versus 5? Impact pushing mid to get a flank angle, but if GSG goes fast, it might work.
I mean, Impact will be behind them. He's going to TP in. Are they going to try to turn on the TP? Can they time the route? They're going for it. They time it well. Can they burst him down? But here comes Huhi flashing over the wall. Sajet trying to get some damage down. But everyone, DSG is just getting melted. Huhi incredibly low, but the Dragon Soul has been secured. Sajet sent packing, and Castle cannot survive the damage from Rahel. Just like that, the pick on Calmy
may have been a disappointment in this team composition. It hasn't created that much pressure. It ends up getting picked off. We could be one fight away from the game as Hambach has a flank.
Hambach has a great flank in onto Lions. The TPs are going to come in to try to reinforce Sajet, trying to get as much damage down as he can over on a Huhi. Lion survives, and then all comes through. In comes Calmy, trying to get Darkwing down. Has to snap back, though he's in a lot of trouble. They get the first kill. It's onto Hambach. And Castle, that's king. He's king of the castle. He's going forward here, trying to knock down Rahel. Rahel flashes back, but the last Q gets the shutdown. That's big man on campus. Castle gets the stacks to pay off. That that Nasus hurts.
It's a game of inches. He lands the final auto as Rahel kills him as well.
Moving up now, and they're trying to hunt out for any sort of flank location. He's going to be TPing in to join the team. The Baron down to about half HP. Call Me looking, does land the knockup onto just Huhi.
Baron shred.
Gonna have to snap back, but they're looking to try to just finish this. Sen ult comes over the top. Look at Hombok. He's pushed out. Hombok can't join the fight, so they lose the Baron. There's the root over on a Huhi. The hook is going to land on a Darkwing. Darkwing's in a lot of trouble. The first kill goes the way of DSG. Here comes Castle. He's stunned up, but not for long. The CC is going to expire.
Oh my
and
God.
So are Sentinels. It's a triple there for the Senna, and it's Castle crushing through the fight. The ace for DSG, and they just won the game.
When we talk about infinite scaling, apparently it's actually infinite scaling through the Infernal Soul. They just 5v5 start the Baron and then annihilate Sentinels to go up 2-1 in this series. Sajed in the end ends with 7 kills on the Senna, and they're going to go up 2-1 in the series, Azale.
Sajed and Castle, the scaling well and truly online. Nearly 800 stacks on the Nasus, nearly 120 on. Yep, Zehen will be coming through, as you said. I feel like it kind of plays somewhat similar to Aatrox, which obviously Impact has played a lot of. And he is someone who can bring out a lot of these different picks.
I mean, Kryra still hasn't based, neither has Hombok. Huhi stuck around. They can potentially punish this with the Leona.
Going to be able to land the stun, and now comes Darkwings, and Kryra has no passive. Kryra might just be dead. Even if you flash, I don't think you're getting out of this one. That's first blood going to Hombok.
They're going to have to, even if they win their first lower bracket match, they both have to win in order to face each other just to make it into top 3. So a lot of LCS. We got Saturday, Sunday this week, and then the last 2 weeks are Friday, Saturday, Sunday to conclude these playoffs.
Oh, he's going to get caged in. Hombok is here. There's the Q. Can he get out? It doesn't look like it. Great CC chain.
River, like he wants to make something happen.
Yeah, Darkwing's pop that goes very early, so wants to threaten with the cage here, but Call Me is behind him. Castle fighting on the top side against Impact. Call Me goes in. The charm does not connect, and now the CC is coming in. He gets burst down in a hurry. Double bubble comes out from Lions as Sajed is pushing forward. Sajed going to balk over the wall, gets that kill. Hombok in some trouble. Rahel has arrived. Can they make it happen? They're trying to focus down Hombok, but they don't have the damage. It looks like Hombok still alive. It's a double for Rahel. Kryra ults, flashes out to safety, but Sentinels are up 5-1.
And he's always going to be one shot there. Maybe DSG thinks now that that's happened, we're ahead of the MF, we can probably win the fight, but they lose the turnaround.
Castle about to get solo killed. That is an Ignite ticking, not a solo kill, excuse me, as Huhi was there and does grab the kill. As we jumped out of that replay, he's going to get taken down. Castle had been doing great in the 1v1, but Huhi gets up there.
Might be one where they would just try and concede. They almost got that turret down bot lane, but with Herald being put in mid lane by Sentinels, it seems like it's probably too tough to defend.
Nice timing on the bubble there, does catch Huhi, but it means he doesn't bounce back, and he's going to lock down Kryra. Kryra, great timing on the W, though, absorbs so much of that MF damage, helps to keep him alive, but Mundo with no ulti is kind of useless. Impact trying to stack up the Cultivation of War, does use his ult. Castle still has his. Maybe that's the edge that lets them fight.
I think it's actually the edge that lets Ahri get some plates. So overall, that would be good. They're going to give up the Drake, but at least they're trading it for something on the other side. Call Me getting some plates. Castle actually is spotted by Darkwings. Might end up falling here.
Ooh, good counter-strike. Block the flash Q from Huhi. The stun does not land, and Darkwings can't finish him off. So, yeah, they do lose the Dragon. They get some plates on the top side. Are going to actually finish off that turret, so that is really nice for them. And we're able to push in that mid-wave, so deny a couple minions. But still, it's a 3.4K gold lead. It's Impact going bot to grab a couple more plates. Nearly 4,000, as it does kind of slingshot back and forth based on the camps and minions getting picked up.
Yeah, and Impact also looking to be able to clean out this bot lane turret, thanks in part to the really delayed recall from Castle. So, nice plate sequence by Sentinels, dropping the Herald mid.
Gets a lot of benefit out of the secondary part of the Actualizer, which is the basic spell cooldown reduction, which is really, really nice because you can get multiple rotations out there. But if you catch someone with a cage, you pop the Actualizer with the QWR. That's a ton of extra damage all at once.
It's definitely for the old school players, you know, Deathfire Grasp reimagined, rather than having to press DFG on the player. You just get to press it and have DFG on everyone.
And DSG is pushing forward here, trying to come back. Kryra does tag Rahel, who is put quite low. Doesn't want to commit anything more, and Rahel will be put low, but has the BT, and we'll just go heal up off the Wolves as Darkwings takes down that tower up on the top side. Again, he just utilizing the pressure that he has, really moving around the map so well. Lions on the Nami, obviously don't have that same ability. So Jed gonna get Q flash. Whoa. Beautiful combo coming through. Can they finish him off? Not just yet. Kryra is there as well. The Cage gonna come out defensively, does keep Homebok safe, and now Kryra gonna get locked down. Kryra does have the ulti, but it's gonna be too late. Can't even get it off. Sentinels grabbing another kill there on the turnaround.
And it's 20 minutes where they can just turn immediately on to Baron, so they might make quick work of this game. Already up 5,000. Will turn to about 6.6 if they get this. Death timers are relatively short, though.
Yeah, Call Me in the area. Lions here. They know they have to try something. Call Me's going to go in, does land the charm, but it's just on impact. And he has to flash right back out. Castle going in, 4-man counter-strike. Can he make something happen? The bubble comes through. Rahel is going to be shut down there by the Ahri. Call Me on the run here, trying to get away. Charm going to be sidestep. Homebok is coming in behind him. He's going to go for the TP out. Can he get there? That was so close. Looks like he survives unless he burns down to the red buff, but he's going to get out. Nicely played there by Call Me as DSG solo laners making a game-saving play.
Wow.
That went from 5K
holding
to
that bush.
And they've lost control of the mid wave, so DSG has to now wait. They got to be careful. They're too far forward.
Yep.
And now comes Homebok going in on the engage, a bullet time over the top, and he's surely going to fall. Lives for a while. Castle trying to turn around. So Jed trying to get involved, but he's going to be exhausted, and he's got to run for it. Castle's going to get knocked down as Homebok goes on a rampage. Sentinels crush the fight. DSG were way overextended. Your court, and I think rightfully so, as Veigar obviously not the highest DPS champion, but does have a Void Staff already completed, and means the death cap is going to be pretty delayed. Homebok going to be looking for a pick, and there is Call Me. Now you see him, now you don't. He is knocked down in the hurry. Castle, though, trying to come in on the flank, tries to get in onto Homebok. Homebok interrupts the leap strike. Castle incredibly low, but still alive for now. Sajed going to flash forward, but he can't find the rocket under Rahel. Impact finds the grim return onto Sajed, and it is everyone from DSG falling. They are going down like fish in a barrel. Darkwings gets a double. Kryra is running away. DSG try to look for a play after their mid laner gets picked, but they just can't make it happen. And
Sentinels just have absolute tunnel vision onto Call Me. Every time he's on their screen, they're finding a new way to one big RW.
Yeah, but he got put down to about 20-30% before the heal from the Nami came through. And that wasn't even a Veigar R or anything like that. It was the activation of the actualizer. But is looking for that death cap now. Now the TP going to come out here from Castle. Can he find an angle? He's spotted already. Lion's going to try to look for the engage with the Nami wave. Doesn't really find anything. He's going to get in onto Rahel. Can they knock him down? Great McHale's, but it doesn't matter as Call Me's going to be able to get the first kill on the other side, though. Sajed falls. Call Me's trying to run here from Impact. Darkwings, Impact, as well as Homebok looking for the fight. Homebok is low, but still has the GA, and now the Cultivation of War is stacked up. Impact is going to be fearless, has that revive ready. Won't need it, though. Going to be able to push in. May as well, just pop everything you can for this fight, because realistically, if you get the soul, well, how does DSG come back? They are looking for one-shots, and then you have Mountain Soul on top of that with a 10,000 gold lead. It gets almost impossible. And you have to think.
I think they're strong enough to try and do this without Baron.
Oh, yeah. Darkwings just TP'd back with the death cap, and the actualizer is ready, so we'll see if he can get a one-shot. If he can set that up, would definitely be able to burst someone down in a hurry.
Yeah, 1,044 AP. And an actualizer, so come on, Darkwings, let's see it.
That's like a QR one-shot from full, pretty much. But we are going to have that Mundo passive, keeping Kryra safe thus far. But now you have been triple in him, and the walls are closing in. We'll see if DSG can find a fight to delay the game a little bit. There's the Cage coming through. Call Me gonna look, does find the charm, but it is just onto Hui. Bubble's there to follow, but really, who cares? That's just the Leona you've landed your damage on, and Castle now getting chunked down there by Impact. The minions coming in, they're gonna go for it. Here is the bullet time across multiple members. Castle's in the back line, but Rahel has the barrier. It's a double kill already for the Veigar. How much more can they get?
Oh, let's get a penta.
Flashing back. It's a triple for the Veigar. The bot lane's in the base. Darkwings is not gonna get a penta, but he is gonna help to send us to game 5 with an 8-0-8.
Definitely do. They won game 4, so they're the ones that are sitting with the momentum. But the Rumble that has been banned all series did fall into the hands of Castle. We'll see if he can get anything going early on.
Which is going to be a proc of that passive. as Kryra is over in the area, but Castle gonna have to flash out because Hombach was there first. Lions now here on the invade. Should have been spotted by that ward though as he walked in the brush, so Hombach I think is waiting for impact and seeing, can I get over there for a smite steal? He has now arrived as well, as nice sidestep there from Lions. Will be able to go over the wall, but Kryra in some trouble. They're gonna just continue the chase here. Will impact flash forward. He uses the taunt. Can't really catch too much, but does get the bard, and Lions now flashing out. Not gonna be able to get away. First blood grabbed by Darkwings, as these invades are just not working out for DSG whatsoever. Yes, matchup. But then Impact was not getting punished more heavily than that, eventually caught up.
Yeah, Impact has been incredibly solid. Also, based off of the shenanigans that happened to Cromp, seems like a pretty easy Drake by Hombach. This might be...
Go like BT or Bork on Trist as your first item. You want to go just crit scaling items. So
yep.
These matchups where you're getting poked become very, very difficult because Trist only trades by going aggressive. And when you jump in, you get feared and you just get hit by ulti. It is really, really tough. And in my experience, these matchups just
do whatever they want. Yes, Castle can push an Impact, but we know in the first 14 minutes of the game, that doesn't really matter almost ever for the top laners. All the plays are happening through mid-bot at the moment, and that's where Darkwings is pushing in Call Me, and another engage on the Lions.
Yeah, Lions going to be trying to get out of there. Flashes away,
nice.
But Hombach just flashes over the Tempered Fate, finishes him off. Lions picked again, felt safe to walk up because he had the magical journey, but it just doesn't matter. They commit feeling like he is kind of out of it. And a lot of it, I feel like, yeah, you know, it's one of these things where it's just kind of snowballing off of the earlier play, right? But great engage here. Can they actually knock down Hombach? Let's see. Sajed going to be turned around on, is in some trouble, going to get knocked down, pops the ulti. Sajed has to use the heal and does have the spell shield come back up. The ulti from Hombach will expire, but he dashes back in, gets the flash force. Hombach almost gets him with the wind, becomes lightning, and Kryra takes the kill. So Sajed has to use his flash. They have to use the heal from Lions.
Yeah, still really impressed with Hombach and just the overall synergy from Sentinels in this Game 5. It's been such a hard-fought series to this point. Definitely a few mistakes being made in previous games, but in this one, the overplay early by DSG into the jungle of Sentinels, and since then it's just been Sentinels living in this bot side. So at least Kryra gets his wolves, but Blue is gone again, and the wave isn't
hold him in place.
And he's just first out of Mikhail's, because why not?
Yep.
Because that's the one engage that DSG has.
I love it.
So Sentinels definitely making this draft look very effortless in its execution, knowing that there's just that one bit of hard engage. They are in his house and he can't get rid of them. So now, even with no ult, oh, Darkwings fails flash.
Darkwings, oh no, he did fail his flash going over the wall. Tried to get over, but doesn't get hugging the wall before he uses the flash and is going to get taken down as a result. They are able to grab that kill, and Castle continuing to extend that lead. And it's Calmy going to be able to jump out to safety, nicely buffered on the taunt, but Sentinels pushing in mid lane, looking to try to knock him down.
I think this is going to be mid turret, which will open up the map even more. The gold is very close, especially after that shutdown went for Darkwings, but I feel like there's a lot of standing gold that Sentinels is going to want to collect.
So he is back in his home, in between the two towers, now abusing Castle, but he's taking a lot of damage this time as he does get hit by a binding. Castle going to overheat, trying to move forward here, going to be thrown into the exhaust. Nice sidestep on the Verisalt though. Rahel trying to turn things around. Kryra is here.
Cashed in his call, might even be able to get this turret in.
And he is playing against an MR stacking Galio, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is a first full item of magic resist. They do throw down the Bard ulti. Can they look for a play? But all of Sentinels are coming. This is looking not good. Call Me should be able to knock down the tower, but can he actually get out of dodge? Does have the rocket jump, but that is not going to keep him safe. Knocks down the tower, but it'll cost him his life. Unfortunately for Sentinels, he grabs the kill. We'll see if they can get anything else off the back of it. Have a lot easier time in the fight, where I don't know if DSG can get past the Zen. So I think that's really the question here, is can they set up Sajed as well as Call Me to have a successful fight? And they're going to go for the engage. Equalizer will get thrown down, but I mean, it's super late. It's after the Dragon is already taken. I thought they weren't even, you know, we were seeing a lot of young players on FlyQuest. We're seeing guys like Kryra, like Kisno, like Sajed, all looking really strong as playing this very aggressively. In comes Impact from behind, and Lions could be in some trouble. but is able to use the magical journey to get back to safety. But Calmy is now cut off from the rest of his team, and Impact is going to be able to tank this one up. Calmy flashes back. Good Bard ult to buy a bit of time. And now Darkwing get caught under the tower by a Kryra ultimate. Nice turnaround there. The resets could be coming through. Do they want to jump in on this? Sajet arrives. They're going to try to chase down Impact, who has no flash. Rahel in position, going to try to look for a turn. The equalizer comes through, and Castle flashes over. He has the overheat there, trying to knock down Rahel. Doesn't quite have the damage, but they do get a couple kills. Do they have the confidence to go for the Baron? They're going to make the call to try to do it. Calmy is basing. His TP still on cooldown, though, unless the Spectator client is wrong. And Castle may have just gone too far. Castle now is zoned off by himself. He wanted to chase. The rest of his team wanted Baron. And now that miscommunication may really cost them. Calmy is back, and if they can get this next dragon, get towards IE for both of their carries, that would be huge. But Calmy going to be able to rocket jump to safety, will be pushed back, and it means that tower top should fall. Of course, they're not going to have the IE for this next fight, and that is until Calmy arrives, and Calmy might be spotted soon. Sentinels trying to posture aggressively with that extra man. Now Calmy shows Castle on the side is in a lot of trouble. He has no flash from the previous fight, drops the equalizer, but he could be in trouble. Kryra over the wall, catches the ulti onto Rahel, but it's Castle that's down. The ulti comes through from Lions, but it gets him nothing. Sajet is going to try to flash into the magical journey, but it expires. Sajet is going to fall. Sentinels win the fight. They want more, and they're going to get it. And now Kryra running for the hills. Calmy pushes mid, but it's a 2K gold lead. It is a one fight, and it is going to be Soul for Sentinels. Total disaster for DSG, but so much confidence from Hambach, just going straight on to Rumble, who was flashless and separated from the team. Bard ult is just too late, and the portal probably too early. It's a total disaster there as DSG lose 3 and the Soul. That's Mountain Soul. This is going to make things a lot more difficult. That being said, they're aware, but can they approach? Yeah, it's so hard for them to approach. Rahel hitting it now, shreds it almost instantly. Okay, well, he's going to spot it now, so now they know for sure. They're going to TP the Tristana back out. I mean, Kryra will just have to blind flash in. If they can get any vision over top, they're going to delay with the Bard ult. Can Kryra get in and try to steal his way? Calmy's on the side, fighting against Darkwings as well as Huhi. Kryra, does he go? Nice binding comes through. The equalizer's on no one at all from Castle. Hambach goes forward, but Hambach's just going to get burst down. He's shut down by Castle. In comes the Galio ultimate, but it's not timed correctly. Castle flashes and magical journeys back out to safety. Feels like a bit of a comedy of errors there, as the equalizer in, and then they can get their fight. Castle is moving over to try to regroup with Calmy, but now potentially Sentinels could engage to the other side. Some poke coming through onto Kryra. The Baron's getting low. There's the equalizer across multiple members, and the ulti from Kryra. It's going to be cleansed off, though, by who he is. Kryra's incredibly low. Lions flashes back, as well as the flash from Sajet, but Sajet falls to Rahel. It's up to Castle and Calmy. They're going to try to get something done here on the side, but they get no kills at all. They lose their bot lane, and it feels like they're about to lose so much more. Can just go right back onto the Baron. It is a 3v5. Kryra's in a lot of trouble. He's got a flash, and over on the other side, Calmy's going in. They're going to try to win the fight on the side, and they're going to get Rahel. He burns down. That is a massive shutdown, as Hambach was trying to go for a kill on one side. Calmy going to get spotted out. Can he make a great escape? He cannot. He falls. But without the Varus, this is so much harder to do. Castle's got to try to stay alive, though. He gets caught on the recall briefly there. Overheats, trying to go in on the Huhi, but surely has no damage to finish him off. And Impact is probably Elder as well. It depends how long it takes Sentinels to reset and go down for the Elder. Yeah, it's still 30 seconds until Castle respawns here. They're going to be able to have the Baron buff on all 5 for Sentinels, so instant reset here. And are going to 2 levels, remember, here. And it's not very tanky. Calmy and Sajet, it's really all about them and Castle. Castle on the side, are they going to try to go for it here? In comes the equalizer, but it's at the same time as the Bard ult, it cancels everything. Sajet is going to be charmed up, he's going to be taunted up, Castle's in trouble. They still kill Darkwings. Sajet is gone. They do get Darkwings. Calmy's going to jump in, but he just gets knocked up and he gets knocked down. That Bard ult was playing for the other team. Sentinels crush the fight. We'll see how much more they can get, but the anti-timing there from Lions, as it immunes the equalizer damage, immunes the Sejuani ulti, and Sentinels are marching on the Nexus. That's probably the game. Just a series of unfortunate events for Lions' Bard this game. He hit one nice one in the top lane, but had several go
in the wrong direction. 4 alive, Castle the only defender. This is probably the series, Azael.
This is definitely looking like series. Impact tanking up the towers. Castle can do nothing. Sentinels were pushed, but they did not break. They take down DSG. They qualify.